This last one says, "Hi Helen, in the process of awakening, I'm hoping to let go of an autoimmune disease that is proving to be resistant and has at times threatened my life. So much was going on when I contracted it 30 years ago that it's quite hard to find or remember the real cause. When I try an inquiry and zone into body sensations, I don't get any beliefs emerging, just the intense heat of inflammation or soreness. I ask, what is the belief attached here, but nothing emerges. So I cannot ask the question, is this really true? Any guidance you have would be helpful, as the medications are no longer working at all." So when we are contemplating, trying to find a belief that is reflecting as this body condition, illness, this dis-ease in the harmony of the body, is a reflection of some idea that we're holding on to that we haven't seen or looked at clearly. And of course, you know that I'm just kind of saying that to put it into context, because our body is trying to tell us, having to tell us, it's something that perhaps we haven't looked at emotionally, or something that we haven't looked at deep enough emotionally. So if we have a strong emotion, so fear or guilt or unworthiness, even self-hatred, then and we haven't been able to feel that emotion for whatever reason, maybe it didn't feel safe to feel it, or we were told it was wrong, or whatever, we were in a situation where it was generated where we couldn't feel it, then it's really going to be finding the beliefs is really more looking at the emotions. What emotions do you feel on a regular basis that are then reflecting, because as the body condition, because every karmic pattern shows up 3 ways simultaneously: as thoughts, the unconscious beliefs, and then as an emotion, a more gross, tangible manifestation than a thought, and then physical, in physicality somewhere. So in this case, in your body. So have a look at the negative emotions you feel, and mind will say that you feel this emotion because you have this thing going on in the body. But in truth, that is separation, the emotion caused by what's happening to the body. So if it's life-threatening or has been, there's probably some fear there. And mind will say, I'm scared because this thing is happening to my body. But in the truth, I'm scared because I think I'm a separate being. I'm in danger. And that's reflecting this belief, is not allowing the fullness of the life force to flow through the body. And it looks like illness and disease. And the more constricted the life force is, the more severe the illness or the disease will appear to be. So first of all, having a look at the negative emotions that you feel, and then working that back to the belief. And on the website, helenhamilton.org, in the free teaching section, I think, there's a list of emotions and hidden beliefs behind them as a suggestion to kind of go with for that, using the contemplation technique. And still, even if you look at the body itself, a second way to look at this, the body is a very literal metaphor for what's going on inside of us. So autoimmune disease is where your body is kind of attacking itself, isn't it? As far as I know, my understanding might be limited here, the immune system is attacking tissue that and systems that shouldn't be. So something is out of sync. There's an attack going on inside. And this is symbolic of something happening deeper inside you. This is a reflection of something happening deeper inside. Where are you attacking yourself? Where are you criticizing yourself? Where are you hating yourself, even if you look deep enough? And I know as I say this, most of us will say, well, I don't hate myself. You know, it's not that deep. I don't have any feelings that I'm aware of that. And that's why the body's having to show us, because we haven't really seen it. It was astonishing to me that even after several deep seeings, when I actually looked at what was going on, because my life wasn't flowing still, I finally dug out this kind of intense self-hatred, this self-loathing inside that was still there after many seeings, and was experiencing peace and joy but my life wasn't flowing. So there must have been some belief that was stopping the energy moving down through the body, the energy centers, and then out into the greater manifestation. So looking at the metaphor, self-attacking self, why would you be doing that on some level? Can you admit that that must be going on some level and be willing to see that? None of us, especially this far into the path of awakening, want to see that because we value love and truth and honesty. It doesn't feel right, and we don't really want to look inside to find some kind of self-hatred still going on. We might not even believe, we might say, well, I'm obviously not the egoic structure. I've seen what I really am. But that seeing sometimes doesn't penetrate deep enough yet to undo this mechanism. It's very rare that someone will have a seeing powerful enough in one go to obliterate all these egoic structures that are still working. We only hear about the ones that do, but most of us, we still have to go in and look at these patterns underneath. So just listening to yourself when you talk, are you unknowingly criticizing yourself, diminishing yourself? How do you really feel about yourself? How you feel about your body too is a reflection of how you feel about you. How you feel about your abilities and your mind, and all of that is a reflection of how you feel about you. For me, when I looked at this, I had some very negative feelings about my body. I had to admit, eventually, that's how I actually feel about myself. My body is just innocently reflecting to me and doesn't have any other choice what I'm thinking and feeling on a deep unconscious level, of course. And that's why it's having to show us, because we can't see it any other way. So I hope that gives you some direction to go with that. Have a go applying what I've said here, and do write back in if you need to kind of fine tune that. And my gut feeling is that it's about some kind of self-hatred going on inside with that. And not blaming yourself for that, because that just adds to it. Each one of us has been functioning from mind's perspective, and mind is taking a snapshot at our life, looking at who it thinks we are, comparing it to where it thinks we want to be, need to be. When I get to this point in the future, I'll be good enough, I'll like myself, I'll love myself. And it can never kind of arrive at this point here, because this one, where it thinks we're starting from, is deeply flawed. We are not this separate being that we think that mind thinks we are. So how can we ever go from here to here if the starting reference point is completely untrue? But mind thinks it's true, so it keeps trying and failing to be this better person, more awakened, better father, better wife, better career. All these things it's trying to get to, whatever that is for you, where I'll finally be happy and I'll like myself. So recognizing it's not your fault, it's not any of our fault if we have these deep feelings about ourselves. And that is a natural byproduct of using the mind to try to navigate through our life to find happiness. That's the only tool we had till now. So we can let go of blame in that. I hope that helps, but do get back in touch about that if you need to.